up on ATV News, this campus landmark is being demolished.
We'll tell you why it's coming down and what's being built in its place. Aprender un nuevo idioma. Find out why these kids may soon be speaking Spanish with the best of them.
You think your boyfriend is non-committal? Wait till you see our weather forecast.
Coming up on ATV Sports, we introduce something different.
Our new segment, Aggie Sports Corner, where I show him who's boss.
And music is only made sweeter when paired with a good cause. We'll tell you what it's all about and how you can get involved.
Coming up on ATV News.
Welcome to ATV News. I'm Courtney Robinson.
And I'm Brandon Fonda. Lund Hall has been a part of the USU landscape for the last 70 years, but by the end of the week, it will be nothing more than a memory.
Our Emily Landine is with us live outside where crews are tearing down the building as we speak. Emily, is it still standing?
They're just tearing down an old building at USU, but Nancy Williams remembers it as her first home at college.
They're starting from the end that I lived. I lived on the corner, on this side, so the northwest corner.
College life back then was pretty strict.
You still had dorm hours, which meant that on weeknights you had to be in the hall by 10:30.
Lund Hall has quite a history, first being used as a trailer park for a lot of young couples.
That's where students lived, because there was no place, else. There was no dormitories on campus.
Then there's all girls housing, the only one on campus that didn't have a kitchen.
As I could not cook beyond making a sandwich at that point, or cookies, I thought it would probably be better for my health if I lived in a dorm where I had to go eat at a cafeteria.
Williams says she's going to miss this building a lot, and it has a lot of memories to her. But from the rubble that was once Lund Hall will rise a new building, Huntsman Hall.
Going to be a new classroom and office building.
It should do just what Lund Hall did, serve the students.
It'll have probably the most classrooms of any building on campus.
For Williams, though it is sad to see it all go, she'll have some great memories.
What I would have cried for more than the building going down was the tree. There was a huge, huge tree, and I have pictures of myself standing by that tree. So that, for me, the loss of the tree was bigger than the loss of the building.
This is the brick that Williams actually got to keep from Lund Hall. She says that while she'll still have her memories and she'll have this, that'll be enough, and she'll always remember her first home away from home. Back to you, Courtney. Thanks, Emily. After Lund Hall is torn down, workers will begin building Huntsman Hall, and work should be finished on that project by the year 2014.
When you hear about a car accident in Logan, there's a good chance it happened on the corner of 14th North and 2nd East. We told you about one such accident on Tuesday, and that got us wondering why this specific intersection seems so dangerous. We sent our Lee Kubik to find the answer.
This is the intersection at 1400 North and 200 East. Everything is running smoothly now, but Jaden Camphouse had a different story.
Light was turning yellow, was already in the intersection. Truck with a trailer came, turned left. I slowed down for them. Didn't see the other guy behind the trailer, gassed it. Hit him pretty mid-center in his 4Runner, flipped the 4Runner.
According to Logan City PD from March 2011 to March 2012, there were 27 total accidents, of which 0 were fatal, 8 had personal injuries, and 19 were only property damages. From March 2012 to March 2013, there was 1 fewer accident, but 1 was fatal with 8 personal injuries and 17 property damages.
You may notice pieces of car like this one lying around on 14th North. There's a speed difference of 10 miles per hour on 200 East from Main Street, leading to high impact collisions.
Police say that these high-impact collisions are why it seems that more accidents happen here than any other intersection. But is that really the case?
We do have other intersections that are just as high, if not higher. The Main Street corridor, we have a lot of accidents throughout, the main intersections, 2nd North, 4th North, 10th North, and then 14th North.
Avoiding damage like this could be as simple as following the lights. Lee Kubik, ATV News.
The police say accidents would be much easier to avoid if we would just all stop when the light turns yellow rather than speed on through.
One of the colleges at USU has officially changed their name. With the addition of a new building within the last year, it seems only fitting that the College of Agriculture also receive an addition to its official title. The College of Agriculture now will be called the College of Agriculture and Applied Sciences. The announcement came last night at the United by the Land celebration. The new name comes on the heels of the opening of the new Ag Science building on campus. Over the past few years, the college has added new programs which have broadened the types of classes offered to students beyond just agriculture. College officials wanted to find a name that would better depict what the college is all about while still keeping its natural roots.
We wanted something that recognized our legacy in agriculture, certainly making sure that people knew that our roots were still there. We were still very, very connected to that area, but also identify the other connections that we've added over the past few years.
The new college will now be placed on the name of the back of the memorial site of the Ag Science building, and a sign will also be placed behind the north building facing 4th North.
How are your Spanish skills? At Pioneer Elementary in Preston, Idaho, a program is in the works to help students become fluent in both English and Spanish. Our Victoria Cardin shows you how educators hope to get their students speaking Espanol.
Here at Pioneer Elementary School, administrators want to try the dual immersion program. This is where students would spend half the day learning in English and the other half of the day would all be taught in Spanish.
I think it's going to be an excellent addition to our school. I think that the students would be excited, would be energized. The instruction in Spanish would have to be very specific, as basic as you could get, because the students aren't going to understand the language that it's taught in. But by making it concrete and by making it basic, I think the students will surprise us with the speed at which they pick up the language and the abilities that they have at the end of the school year. So it is something that I'm kind of excited about, and I can be in favor of.
The problem is, they need at least 40 students to sign up, and there may not be enough people to fill the seats. There are an average of 200 students per grade, and not getting the 40 people would mean that the other first grade classes would be too large.
If we get the support and we have the excitement and the number, we'll go ahead with it. If we don't end up with the number, we're going to have to, we won't be able to.
Victoria Cardin, ATV News.
Administrators say they have about 20 families interested so far, but they are hopeful more will get involved so the program can start this fall. When we come back, Margaret Thatcher Remembered. We'll tell you what people in Cache Valley are saying about the controversial leader.
And an interesting kind of soap could be the answer to all your skin problems. Stay tuned.
Hi, my name's CJ. A few years ago, my father became seriously ill. I did what I could do before he passed, but it took its toll. I lost my job, my house. I'm getting back on my feet, but I don't know when there'll be food on the table. How'd I do, CJ?
We could be twins.
Well, cousins, maybe.
Play a role in ending hunger. Visit feedingamerica.org/hunger and find your local food bank.
Welcome back. The recent death of Margaret Thatcher has some people taking to social media to offer both condolences and criticism toward the former British Prime Minister. Our Eric Jungblut brings you more on the Iron Lady's historic career and how Utah State is reacting to her death.
Where there is discord, may we bring harmony. Where there is error, may we bring truth. Where there is doubt, may we bring faith. And where there is despair, may we bring hope.
Margaret Thatcher, Britain's first female prime minister and the longest-serving prime minister of the 20th century, died of a stroke on April 8th. She was 87 years old.
I presume this is to enable us to sweep Britain clean of socialism.
Thatcher was a polarizing figure in both the UK and across the world. Social media outlets lit up with both praise and criticism when she died.
I still am sort of surprised that when someone is gone, that people would use that as an opportunity to revisit old concerns that they have, as opposed to recognizing that this is always a difficult time for family and friends and supporters when someone does pass on.
Margaret Thatcher was a divisive and powerful figure in British politics back in the 1980s. Two of her biggest policy decisions included breaking up unions in Britain and making sure Los Malvinas no son Argentinas. The British victory in the Falkland Islands War in 1982 would put Thatcher's polls at an all-time high and ensure her re-election.
1984, Great Britain.
In 1984, she faced heavy opposition from striking coal miners and their powerful union. Thatcher was known as the Iron Lady, but she wasn't very strong during her last few years. Opinions on her will differ, but she was arguably one of the most important figures of the 20th century. Eric Jungblut, ATV News.
A state funeral for Thatcher is scheduled next Wednesday.
You might have heard of people drinking goat's milk, but you've probably never used soap made from it.
Our Tamara Bradley is live to tell you all about the new way to lather up. Tamara?
Thanks, Courtney. If you have sensitive skin because of some soaps or creams, one local lady may have an answer for you.
Cutting bars of soap by hand isn't new to Becky Yeager.
I just started making it as a hobby and as something for my family to use, and it eventually just sort of developed into the business.
In her store, the Spirit Goat Soap Shop on Federal Avenue in downtown Logan, she makes, hand stamps, packages, and sells handmade soaps made of goat's milk.
So this is one of our normal bars, and we have probably 80 different varieties like this. This is a normal bar of soap for your body, hands, face, whatever. But we started making these pies and cupcakes because they're just more playful, more gifty, and they're just fun to make too. But this is actually goat's milk soap just like this. It's the exact same formula with all the same oils. They're just sort of a new addition to our line.
Unlike other soaps that leave a harsh chemical residue, the Spirit Goat soaps are made of all natural ingredients.
We use just your base oil, some rice bran, and lye goat's milk powder, and then everything else gets turned over to Becky. She does the coloring and the scent. It just is more sensitive. It's better for your skin. It's not as harsh. You don't have all those hard chemicals. Everything is just natural, and it just feels really good.
Becky Yeager uses her own goat's milk in the soap she makes. She also said that her background in biology helps when she develops the formulas for her products. Back to you, Courtney.
Thanks, Tamara. The Spirit Goat Shop is a private company and has been in business for the past 11 years.
With so many students in Logan, you probably see more people riding bikes here than many places in the state. But should they be on the road? We went to the streets to get your opinion and to show you what happened to one biker in Sardine Canyon just a couple weeks ago. As the weather gets warmer, the bike racks start to fill up, which means more cyclists on the roads, a sight that some motorists don't enjoy.
Cyclists annoy me when they're in the middle of the road, or lots of times it seems like cyclists, they try and follow the rules that cars follow, but then also they don't follow those rules. So it's like they want to be cars, but then they don't always act like cars.
But cyclists say it's the cars who should pay more attention.
Cars don't pay attention that you're riding your bike. Like they pull out from a stop sign and don't look. I've almost got hit a couple times.
But whether it's the car's fault or the cyclists, it's usually the cyclists who pay the price. Cyclists like Justin Haslam, who was hit in Sardine Canyon just weeks ago when a car crossed over the rumble strip and struck him going about 60 miles an hour.
The witnesses said that I kind of flipped over the car and did a complete flip and ended up on my back end, so sliding down the road to a stop. I guess I was conscious after that, but I don't remember it.
It's everybody's responsibility to be more aware and prevent accidents like this, according to Aggie Blue Bike Program Coordinator Stephanie Tomlin.
When you're on the road on a bicycle, you are considered a vehicle, so you're subject to the same exact laws and regulations that a motor vehicle must uphold on the road. It's a good law in that it holds, both parties accountable, so hopefully the idea is to get rid of that placing blame.
In 2010, 618 bicyclists were killed in the U.S. and an additional 52,000 were injured due to car accidents involving bikes. We'll be right back, and Jenna Lynn will be in the studio with your weather forecast.
It's currently 51 degrees here in Utah State and Logan with partly cloudy skies.
Imagine what you'd see if every child had a book to read. So the mission is for us to get a book to each and every child. So let's join hands, book people unite. Unearth hidden passion. Come on, we'll have a good time. One book can be the first little thing that helps to change a life. Book people unite.
Read to a child today and spark a lifetime of ambition.
Jenna, this weather has been all over the place. What can you tell us?
It has been all over the place. I mean, from warm, sunny, 60-degree weather to snow last week, it was crazy. So yeah, I'll be telling you what's in store for the next week, but let's take a look outside. Okay, as you can see, that's kind of actually pretty sunny out today. It's been pretty warm, which is nice. We're not having to worry about the snow or anything like that. So let's take a look now at our national forecast, see what's going on. Okay, so it'll be coming up pretty soon here. Anyhow, it is currently 51 degrees, as you can see. And our national forecast, there it is. All right, so in the east, you can see that we have up in the north, there's a lot of heavy snow that's going on right now. And down in the south, they've got a lot of tropical storms and thunderstorms that are happening. They've got a lot of precipitation coming in right there. They've got the heat wave, which is this blue line coming up here. And it's coming in to create those tropical storms and everything, where they've got a cold front coming in up from the north. In the west, we've got something interesting happening. So up north, we've got the snow that's coming in, but it's actually not hitting Utah here. It is coming, we've got this warm front coming in with this blue here, and it's creating a little bit of a different thing. But we do have precipitation, so we'll take a look at that next. As you can see right now, we're in this little patch here. The darker the color, the heavier the precipitation. And it, yeah, as you can see, it was supposed to be hitting today, but it was only like a 20% chance, and we don't really have a whole lot of it today, which is kind of nice. The east has a lot coming in, but that should be passing through the weekend, and they should be having some nice clear skies coming through with some warmer weather. Well, for us, for our temperatures, it should be kind of interesting, actually. And we will see that in a minute here. Okay, here it is. So we've got this, we've got warm front coming through here, but actually coming after the weekend, we've got a cold front that will be coming down and bringing the possibility of snow, which is a problem. But so a lot of people aren't liking this back and forth weather. You know, it's warm, it's sunny, it's snowing, but that's actually pretty normal for this time of year. What's not normal is the wind gusts that we've been having. And that has been a little bit lower than normal. But anyhow, I'll show you our 5-day forecast coming here. We've got temperatures today, high of 54. We haven't quite reached that, but we've come close. Friday, we should be having clear skies, which will be nice and a little bit warmer weather. And moving on to Saturday, we should be getting some chance of rain, but it can be like today, maybe, maybe not. By Monday, it will be By the time Monday comes around, there's a 50% chance, so there's a good chance of it either raining or snowing.
Well, the rain is a lot better than the snow, at least.
I agree.
Last week when it snowed, I was just so depressed. Right when I woke up, looked out the window, snow.
I felt the exact same way. It was terrible.
Yeah. Well, thanks, Jenna.
Yeah, of course.
Coming up in sports, Lee and Jason bring you the Aggie Sports Corner.
We'll be right back.
G morning, sunshine. Wakey, wakey. Text me. Are your parents home later? We can hang. LUV, love you. JK. Holla back. Holla back. Holla back. Are you with your friends? That's lame. We're in a huge fight right now. XO. What'd you dream about? Something I did. Are you on your way to the mall? I'm lonely. Nude pics. Send me some. Text me.
Hey man, what's up?
Man, I just got out of the club. I'm with two beautiful girls. We're drunk, man. We're so drunk.
You got a ride home or you driving?
I'm gonna push the Cavalier into gear.
Push the Cavalier into gear!
Yeah!
Oh no man, don't drive. I'm on my way. Don't worry, I'll be there in a sec.
Welcome to ATV Sports. I'm Lee Kubik and this is Jason Borba.
You notice that there are two of us today. We're introducing a new segment where we choose 5 topics and debate our opinion for 45 seconds. First up, USU softball.
Consulting a team's website is a common way to find out when the games start. But is it the best way to know when a game is canceled? Last Saturday, I went to the softball field to cover the game and sat in my car waiting for somebody to show up to play. I had no idea the game was moved to Kaysville. Do you think there's any better way to communicate that?
Well, Lee, you should have took out your little smartphone that you have, your iPhone, and should have went to their website. But USU Athletics can probably set up a text messaging thing to notify people that game has been canceled or something along those lines.
Or, even easier, you put up a poster that says, "Hey bro, games have been moved to Kaysville."
Yeah, that just seems too easy, and it's USU softball, so not a lot of people show up to their games. They're 8-30, so, you know. Which young baseball player has the brightest future? Mike Trout or Bryce Harper? Well, Harper came into the MLB with a lot of hype, being the first pick in the 2010 draft. Trout, on the other hand, surprised everyone in his rookie season, winning Rookie of the Year. So I'm going with Mike Trout as the brighter future, you know. He won Rookie of the Year last year, had 30 home runs, 86 RBIs, and came in second in the AL MVP voting. I mean, what more do you want from a 21-year-old?
Well, Bryce Harper is younger, more versatile. He can play catcher, and he works with a team. He went to JUCO, so he knows higher quality talent than high school.
Exactly. He got that junior college. Mike Trout went straight from high school to the big leagues. He plays in LA with Josh Hamilton, Robert Pujols. Big expectations.
The designated hitter rule has been in place since 1973, but is tradition always best? The American League allows for a designated hitter to bat for the pitcher, while the National League requires the pitcher to bat for himself. How do you feel about the DH rule?
You know what? It'd be cool if it was consistent throughout, but I like the DH, you know? It gives an older guy a spot on a roster, and let's say pitchers only pitch, so that's my stance.
I like the strategy required by managers, though. They have to pinch hit for pitchers, and they have to know when it's time to pull the pitcher.
But DH, if you send out DH, you know what you're going to get. If you get a pitcher, you're not sure, you said the strategies involved. So yeah, it gives managers a little bit more time to work with their rosters, but I like the DH. Give an old guy a chance, like Big Papi and Red Sox. So, with 1 week remaining in the NBA regular season, teams are starting to look toward the playoffs. The playoff picture in the Eastern Conference is set, but the story is a little different out west. The 8th seed is still up for grabs as the Lakers and Jazz will jockey for the final playoff spot. The Lakers currently hold a full game lead over the Jazz. So 2 teams, 1 playoff spot. Who gets it?
Like Bryce Harper, I like the younger team. I love that, Gordon Hayward, LaVallic Burks, they get more playing time, they're going to kill it, and Dwight's going to choke.
Bitter Magic fan. Kobe Bryant, that's all you need. He is going to will the Lakers into the playoffs. He played 48 minutes last night just to put them in the playoffs. And once they get there, if they play the Spurs, who knows what will happen.
Another college basketball season is in the books, so it's time to look ahead to the NBA draft. Outstanding freshman Nerlens Noel from Kentucky hasn't declared for the NBA draft yet, but we expect him to be the #1 overall pick if he does enter. Noel was averaging 11 points, 10 rebounds, and 4.5 blocks before suffering an ACL injury ending his season. This begs the question, should he stay or should he go?
Well, I say you enter the draft. If you know you're going to be the number one pick, why come back to school? Get the money. That's what players are doing. They're the one and dones. Might as well enter the draft because who knows what will happen next year.
2 words, 1 name, Greg Oden. Where is he now? On the couch.
Hopefully he's watching our show too.
Well, that's... As we wrap up Aggie Sports Corner, I just want to congratulate Jason on winning the ATV Sports Bracket Challenge.
Thank you. I mean, I can't take all the credit. I mean, I have to thank Rick Pitino and Louisville. They really did it for me. You know, they really won that championship, and you know.
So who took last?
You know what? Who did take last? I think it was our anchor, Courtney Robinson.
All right, back to y'all.
Thank you. When we come back, we will have more stuff for you. Stay tuned.
Hey man, what's up?
Man, I just got out of the club. I'm with 2 beautiful girls. We're drunk, man. We're so drunk.
You got a ride home or you driving?
Yeah. I'm gonna push the Cavalier into gear.
Push the Cavalier into gear!
Yeah!
Oh, no man, don't drive. I'm on my way. Don't worry, I'll be there in a sec.
Cache Valley hosted a unique group of performers last Saturday, a children's choir that would likely surprise you.
They call themselves the Uganda Thunder, and as our Lauren Brewer find out, they have a unique mission, one that is taking them all across the world.
I feel joyful and I feel so special to be up there.
Most of us don't get a chance to perform in another country to help orphans in our own, but that's exactly what Ugandan Thunder did for Cache Valley residents.
My God, my son!
And what makes this even more special for the children dancing and singing here is that the orphanages that they are earning money for are the ones that they came from.
Some children don't get to eat food, and some of them do, but most of them don't in the orphanages. And we need to get like more money to buy more food so that we can feed everybody.
Going to the Fox station in Tampa.
Pennies for Posho, a Christian charity, runs 13 orphanages in Uganda and brings these orphans to tour the United States with one goal in mind.
We're raising awareness of the great needs for these orphans, and we're also raising funds to feed them.
I love you.
But Ugandan Thunder doesn't charge admission to see their shows.
You may be wondering how Ugandan Thunder earns money for their expenses and earns money for orphanages in Uganda. It's very simple. They sell African goods like this, and that's how they earn the money.
It was our joy last year to feed 5.5 million meals to the hungry children in Uganda.
We are the laborers.
But for these orphans, what they do for the orphanages back home is just a small part of what they get from performing.
I feel so special and great because I do it and I love it.
And this performance even encouraged some people to do more.
It makes me want to help them more, to contribute, to help the hospitals, to help the schools, and to help them with food and shelter.
And all this happened from a little song and dance. Lauren Brewer, ATV News.
Pennies for Posho is currently raising money to build both a hospital and a high school in Uganda. If you'd like to donate to the cause, you can find a link to the page on our website, aggietvnews.com.
The UTA Trax line that will connect downtown Salt Lake to the Salt Lake International Airport will open this Sunday. Utah is allowing people to ride the new Trax line on Saturday free of charge, but only if they bring a canned food donation. The fare will be standard Trax fare and will allow people to get from downtown to the airport in only 20 minutes. Thank you for joining us today on ATV News. We leave you with more sounds from the Ugandan Thunder.
We'll be back next week with more Cache Valley News.
Africa,